Well, good afternoon, folks. Welcome back to another video review. Welcome back to my channel. This is Lee, your virtual airline pilot, back with you again on another video review, the first of this week. This is pretty impressive. I was kind of blown away by this, but anyway, let's describe what we're looking at. We are in Estonia, and we are looking at Tallinn, Lennart Meri Airport, Echo Echo Tango November. This is a payware scenery by Drzewiecki Design. Probably not pronounced that properly, for which I apologise. And we're looking at version 1 for the PC version of Flight Simulator 2020. This is the initial release. Again, no mention of it being available for Xbox as yet. The download is just under 2 gigs, 1.95 gigs, and it installs at just over 5 gigs, 1.65 gigabytes. It's available from both SimMarket and Orbix. Not an awful lot of difference in the price, to be honest. Currently the price is €25.20, which equates to $27.39 US, or £22.19 UK. US and UK prices are estimates from the euro, as ever, and they do include VAT or tax, which of course may vary depending on your country of purchase. You should also note that if you get this from SimMarket, there are small discounts for previous owners of Tallinn scenery for X-Plane, P3D and even SFXX. The discounts are not huge, and we're talking a couple of euros at most, but they are at least discounts. I'm going to say right off the bat, this is an absolutely amazing airport. This is right up there with the likes of Fly Tampa, Pyrogue Dev Company, may even be the best one I've seen. It's got everything. The amount of detail is huge on the airport itself, and even when you go outside the airport, they've done major buildings and work in the city. Terrain mesh has been modelled, and everything's been designed to fit in with the default terrain as well. It really is quite an incredible product. So if you're looking at the price of €25.20, yeah, it is at the top end of the price range, but I have seen prices of €28 and above. And I think this is pretty competitively priced for what you're getting. There's an incredible amount of work gone into this, and you're going to be blown away. You've got such detail, texturing on everything. You've even got sounds inside the terminals. Just wait until you hear the passengers talking. You've already seen, you will see shortly as well in the Jetway test, just how nicely modelled the Jetways are. And again, one of the most perfect connections, and even inside you'll be able to see the dispatcher's Jetway control buttons. This is the sort of level of detail we're talking about. It's really quite incredible. So let's look at the features. You've got a high quality model of Echo Echo Tango November Tallinn Airport, featuring the up-to-date version with extensive details throughout the whole airport. Frame rate friendly design with epic night textures, dynamic lighting and PBR materials, high definition mesh, performance friendly interior modelling at all of terminal buildings, most hangars and the control tower, and you've got static aircraft, custom animations and animated jetways. Tallinn city landmarks are included, and we'll look at those briefly. And also this is fully compatible with GSX Pro using the Catena files. There are one or two GSX Pro files, profile files already on flightsim.to, but the airport's really compatible to it. And one of the things that features don't say is, as I said, is that they've got sound modelling, very, very good sound modelling. And in the distance there you can see two smokestacks, or rather one smokestack and a towering needle there. So they've looked at and worked on everything. It's just really is an incredible piece of work. I spent 15 minutes looking at just briefly yesterday when I first got this, and was really quite blown away. And it looks even better at night. You're just going to be quite amazed. I think it's an incredible piece of work. And I think the price is pretty competitive for what you get. So there you go. Let's, as usual, look at some history for this airport. Okay, so history for you. Tallinn, Lennart Meri Airport, Echo Echo Tango November, is a public use airport operated by Tallinn Airport Limited, and is the largest airport in Estonia, serving as a hub for the national airline Nordica, as well as a secondary hub for Air Baltic, Air Est, a cargo airline, and LOT Polish Airlines. It was also the home base of a now defunct national airline, Estonian Air. The airport's located 3.1 miles or 5 kilometers southeast of the centre of Tallinn on the eastern shore of Lake Ulumiste. Tallinn Airport is open to both domestic and international flights and was formerly known as Ulumiste Airport. Since March 2009, the airport's been officially known as Lennart Meri Tallinn Airport in honour of one of the leaders of the Estonian independence movement and the second president of Estonia, Lennart Meri. Prior to the establishment of the present airport in Ulumiste area, Laasami Airfield was the primary airport of Tallinn, serving as a base for the airline Aeronaut. After this airline went bankrupt in 1928, air service was continued by Deriluft, which used Nehatu Airport instead, just 7.5 miles or 12 kilometers away from the city centre. The first seaplane harbour on the shores of Lake Ulumiste was built between 1928 and 29 to serve the seaplane flights from Finland. The use of this harbour ended, of course, during World War II. In March 1929, an act was passed to establish a public airport, with the land obtained from local companies and descendants of Wagner. Indemnity payments were made as reimbursements for the land, and levelling and renovation works were undertaken, with the official building works begun in November of 1931. The airport opened in September 1936. Passenger and cargo numbers quickly grew from 4,100 passengers and 6,730 kilos of cargo in 1933 to over 11,000 passengers and over 14,000 kilos of cargo in 1937. Preparation and design works for a new passenger terminal started in 1938. As Estonia was occupied by the Soviet Union, in July 1940 the order was made by the Soviet occupation authorities to transfer the airport to the Soviet Air Forces. All aircraft which were at the airport at the time, including an interned Polish Lockheed 14, 2 Junkers Ju aircraft and a PT-04 trainer aircraft of the Estonian Aero Club, were relocated to Zalami Airfield. Between 1945 and 1989, Aeroflot was the only airline serving Tallinn Airport. The new passenger terminal, whose construction was on hold due to the war, continued, and the building was finally commissioned in November 1955. From 1976, more building, expansion and renovation continued, along with the lengthening of the main runway. From 1997, cargo expansion began and continued well into 2012, with 4 cargo terminals constructed and the airport's passengers passing the 2 million mark for the first time. After the death of the former Estonian president Lennart Meri in March 2006, it was proposed to honour the man's memory by naming Tallinn Airport after him. It was also mentioned that Meri himself had shown concern for the condition of the then Soviet-era construction. In one memorable case, Meri, having arrived from Japan, led a group of journalists that were expecting him to the airport's toilets to do the interview there in order to point out the shoddy condition of the facilities. After a meeting, the name change was approved and took place in March 2009. Tallinn Airport now serves over 18 airlines and at least 2 cargo airlines, Diamond Sky and DHL. In 2022, the airport handled over 2.6 million passengers and over 11 tons of cargo. So this place is quite well known, quite well used, had quite a bit of history, certainly under the Soviet occupation, and now is a fully fledged international airport with lots of facilities. And to be honest, the modelling is really up to date and shows that. So anyway, let's talk runways. Let's get down and have a look at the runways and just see how they match the navigation charts. So it's just after 8 PM local time. It's early April 2023. You can see the sun's disappearing below the horizon there. I've turned the light down a bit. Let's look at runways. So Tallinn Airport operates a single runway 2608 measuring 11,417 feet or 3,480 meters, and it's made from an asphalt concrete mix. The airport sits at an elevation of 135 feet or 41 meters. The airport lies in the GMT UTC plus 2 hours time zone, but like many European countries, Estonia operates daylight saving time and moves forward 1 hour in the summer months, usually in late March like we do. So at the moment, in April, the airport is GMT UTC plus 3 hours. It's 3 hours ahead of UTC or 2 hours ahead of the UK. Both ends of the runway feature high intensity runway lighting, centerline lighting, approach lighting with sequent flashing lights version 2, and precision approach path indicators on the runway left side. Additionally, both runway ends feature a standard instrument landing system, RMP approach options, and an RMP approach option specifically for helicopters. Note that there are special noise abatement procedures for departures of runway 26, so pilots check your charts. Now we're looking down the throat of runway 26 at the moment, and as you can see, everything that it's on the charts is there, with the exception of the sequence flashing lights. We've got the approach lights, but they're not flashing in sequence, which is the only thing missing which is shown on the charts. Other than that, you have everything else. You've got the centerline lighting, high intensity lighting, the touchdown zone markers there, and the PAPIs on the left. Let's go a little closer to the threshold. So here we are a little bit closer. You can see green centerline lighting everywhere. I've also got runway end identifying lights. Here are the touchdown zone markers, centerline, and the PAPIs. Pretty much everything here. As I said, the only thing missing is the sequence flashing lights that should be here. Let's have a look at the other end, runway 08. Now this is interesting. As you see, here we are, runway 08. Looking at the other end, and you can see that everything is as it should be, but this time they've included the sequence flashing lights here. And there should be at both ends, according to the chart. I'll put the chart up if I can remember to do it. It's showing that both ends of the runway have these sequence flashing lights, but it's missing at the 26 end. But as you can see, everything else is there. Let's get a little closer. So there you can see the sequence flashing lights, end identifier lights, here's the touchdown zone, centerline, high intensity lighting, and the PAPIs on the left side. And again you can see here taxiways with the approach markings. The detail's really good. So no problems with the runways, and to be honest, they're both ILS equipped, so you're not really going to have that much of a problem at all really. It's just in terms of navigation accuracy, runway 26 is missing the sequence flashing lights, but that's all, and it's not anything I'm going to quibble about really. So that does it for runways. Let's have a look at jetways. Okay, jetway test here at Tallinn. As you can see, you've got the PMDG 737-800 for my airline sitting on stand mic 6, and I've connected the tug so that the jetway doesn't actually go through the tug in any way, and we've opened the door. So let's connect the jetway and see what happens. Right, again we've got a really nicely designed jetway. The wheels move, and from what I can see, the stairs only slightly go into the concrete, and not by much. Now let's have a look at the connection here. Beautiful jetway, lovely glass effect on it. So that looks to be pretty impressive. Let's get up close and have a look. Now there you can see the connection's almost perfect. You can even look through the side window there and see the doorway. And again, looking at the stairwell there, you can see it's only just gone into the concrete, not by much. Let's have a look at the other side. Okay, so there you can see the slightest of gaps between the doorway and the end of the jetway, but really that's not an issue. Let's have a look at the inside of the doorway. Okay, here's a look inside. I wanted to show you this first because look how well the jetway's modelled interior wise. Okay, from the outside when you first look, it looks complete with the shutter down, but here inside you can see the jetway controls and the camera screen that the dispatcher uses to look below the jetway to make sure nothing's there. There's looking back up the jetway. As you can see, the doors are closed at the moment. And there we are looking into the aircraft through the door. I mean, what a beautiful connection. Okay, the door is maybe ever so slightly sort of contained here, but it looks great. And there you've got a view from the terminal out through the side window of the jetway there. And you've got it again there, look. Well, what a really, really nice image. And before we go, here's the jetway with the doors closed from the other side. And there you can see all the way up the jetway right up to the terminal. Again with the doors modelled. Nice views out through the glass. Really, really nice. Okay, let's disconnect the jetway. Okay, so the jetway movement is perfectly good. Okay, the cover does kind of snap back a little bit, but no real complaints. And there's the jetway back in its original position. Very, very good. I'm really impressed with that. It's one of the best connections I've seen. So that's jetways for you. Really, really nice. Let's get on with the main tour of the airport. Well, welcome back, folks. Before we get started, I just wanted to show you just how lovely this looks in the snowy weather, in the winter weather. Here's an overview of the airport. As of today, the 3rd of April 2023, obviously it's not really got terribly much snow as you'd expect in a deep winter, but visually this just looks lovely, absolutely wonderful. Done a really nice job. And there we are looking down the highway and towards the city with the sea in the distance, and we've got the frozen lake below us. As you can see, so it's just stunning. It looks absolutely beautiful in the winter. So there you go. Thought we'd have a quick look at that. Let's get back to sunny daytime summer sort of weather and have a look at this airport properly. Well, welcome back again, folks. Okay, so we've reverted now to, it's April the 3rd today. This is just after midday, and it's daytime with clear weather. So we're going to there's a lot to see at this airport, so we're going to try our best to take a tour of it and get in as much as I can, hopefully without it being too long. We're going to start with the central area that you see in front of us. Then we will head eastwards to look at the cargo and GA apron. On the way out to the runway, where we'll have a look at the runway and taxiway signage. And then we'll lower the light down and have a look at the lighting. And we'll head over towards the city as well, to see what the lighting does, what it looks like in the low light. So let's start with a close-up tour of the central area here. Okay, as you can see, there's some stunning modelling here, really is amazing. So we'll stop here. There you go, see we've got Ryanair there. This is a model, this isn't anything I've added, this is a static model with passengers queued up there. And here you can see inside the terminal we've got passengers, some of them animated, sitting there with the restaurant. I mean, this is stunning. Let's just pop inside quickly. How about that? The sound and ambience of a restaurant, absolutely wonderful. How many times have you heard that message? And are we talking in Estonian as well as English? Wonderful, absolutely wonderful. So here's that Ryanair aircraft. As you can see, some incredible passengers there. The only animated one, of course, is the default guy there. But that's really nice. It's a nice touch. I think the only thing missing, of course, is the stewardess at the top of the stairs greeting them. But as you can see, I think an incredible attention to detail in this product. Everywhere you look, the detail is really, really in depth. The buildings look great. The models are local. It's just really good. So just take a little tour. Again, here's you've got oh, this is wonderful. Let's go inside and oh, it's incredible. When look at the signage, just really wonderful. And the shops, okay, because these images are high resolution, it looks pretty real, which works. So let's pop back outside again. I mean, the detail is just amazing. I mean, you know, the ground equipment, the clutter. Just incredible. And there you can see open gate rooms. Pop inside again. I mean, just look at the modelling. Look at this. It's just stunning. It's great. It's really good. So we pop outside again. Let's have a look across the ramp. I mean, the models are really good. They're really good detail as well. Nothing flimsy about these vehicles. They're all really well modelled. Ground markings are good too. Okay, there's some again we head up to this part of the terminal, and again you can see we've got people, moving people, static people here in the walkway. And again inside at the restaurant, all with ambient sounds. Well, it's just incredible. It's really good. So as you go across this side, you've got buildings that have been done in really high detail. And again, the vehicles are of good quality. Typical Estonian buildings, and I can't wait to see the parallaxing in the dusk hours. Okay, the ground detail is not quite so high resolution, but for me it still works quite well. And modelling looks great. So let's just get out towards the cargo area. I mean, just look at the vehicles, look at the clutter. I mean, I've got no static aircraft loaded, so these are all included in the scenery. I mean, it's just incredible, isn't it? Really is good. The ground markings are brilliant. really good here. Loads of detail. And this hangar is modelled, and wait till you get inside. I mean, what? a fully modelled aircraft inside the hangar with engineers, and you've got sounds of things working on it. Brilliant. When the modelling is great. The ground detail is excellent. There was a bit of blurring near the terminal, but really not an awful lot. Again, the detail is amazing. Look, you've got aircraft down there with engineers working on it. Snow clearing equipment there. And you know, beautifully landscaped as well. Modelling is top notch. Petrol station down there with a tug. I'm pretty close to saying this is probably one of the best airports I've seen for a while. I've been reviewing products for nearly over 2 years now, and this looks incredible. There's the fire station. And here you've got helicopter base, where the police are. And again, the modelling is top notch, nothing left to chance here. Here we are on the GA apron. So we've got another hangar there with a jet inside. And in fact, we've got a jet and a small aircraft as well, and an engineer working on the engine. Brilliant. It's just really impressive. Loads of detail everywhere you look. Really nice. Speed up a little bit. Continue the tour. Just about every building I can look at is 3D modelled, and I'm pretty sure they've got parallaxing on it as well. So it'll be interesting to see what it looks like at night time. I suppose the only little letdown is the low resolution of the roads here. You would think with all this stunning sort of modelling, they would have modelled the roads in the same definition as the taxiways. But they've chosen not to. I mean, that may have something to do with frame rate. I don't know. But if I had a criticism, that would be the only thing. It's just the low resolution of some of the ground stuff. And there you can see you've got solar panels. But you see, even right out here, the detail is really amazing. Here's the blast screen where they come out to do engine runs and tests. I mean, that's pretty impressive. And there is the rail guard in the distance. And here we go with another cargo area. There's a remote de-icing facility over here somewhere too. Okay, quick look at some runway and taxiway signage. So there you can see the runway is very well done, nicely modelled. They've got its own texture. And there you can see we've got working wigwags, which should look pretty impressive in the dark. And the signage is pretty good too. So just a couple of high level shots to show you the extent of this scenery and how well they've set it in and textured it and blended it. I mean, here you can see some beautiful terrain modelling, all blended into the local scenery, and as you can see there's just loads of detail. The whole place looks pretty real. It's just been really well done. And there we are looking across the airport towards the runway and towards the sea. It just looks great. It just looks really, really beautifully modelled. There's the lake in the distance that we saw that freezes over in the winter. And as you can see, the landscape, the whole area is very inviting. It looks really, really nice. Okay, so there you go. We've had a quick sort of airside tour of the airport itself. Let's bring the lighting down and have a look and see how this place comes to life. Okay, just after 8:05 in the evening, as I said, it's early April. As you can see, the sun is dipping below the horizon there. So you can see some really nice subtle lighting all over the place here from this high level shot. Blue airfield edge lights on the taxiways. You've got green centerline lighting. The runway is lit correctly. It's just really, really nice. Right, just a quick look over the police building. Here you can see parallaxing in action in the darkness. Looks really, really nice. It's very impressive. Lots of subtle lighting everywhere you look. I mean, that is really lovely, is it not? Very nice indeed. Okay, quick run down this taxiway towards the central area. As you can see, the green centerline lights are really good. Here's the fire station, again all lit up. Even the little tower there is parallaxed. I mean, it's lovely, isn't it? Isn't it wonderful? There's a real feel about this airport, especially at the dusk hours. Comes to life so well. And you can see almost every building that has windows has parallaxing on it. It's just stunning. I guarantee you the big hangar over there on the right has got lighting inside. That looks like our US Air Force aircraft there. So once again we'll have a look at our favourite little place here. Just approach it slowly. I mean, there isn't the lighting and the subtleness about it all is really nice. We'll have a quick look in here. I love it. So little tour down the airside road. Again, you can see wonderful attention to detail. Everything from the reflections on the glass up at the top there. Just amazing. Loads of detail inside. We haven't even looked at Landside yet. It's just stunning, isn't it? Just amazing. You can even see the registrations on the vehicles. I like it, I really like it. And then just an overview looking across part of the ramp there. I mean, just really subtle lighting, loads of good light, so you're not going to have any problem taxiing around here. Lots of parallaxing on the windows of the various buildings here, all fully modelled. I love the detail on the roof. And these sort of Jetway links have been really well done. Right down to the modelling of the glass. It's just really, really impressive. So let's drift out landside and have a look and see what we've got here. There you go. Okay, most of the people are static. I think there's one or two mobile ones that you can see here and there. Again, lots of vehicles, loads of attention to detail, and of course you've got the ambient sounds you'd expect to hear. I mean, it's really impressive. So let's pop in landside. I mean, look at that. They couldn't get any more real, could they? All of the signs, passengers queuing up at check-in, you've got ticket agents as well, and they're animated. They've done the lot, they've just done it all here. And we've got our wonderful little security voice again. I mean, so much detail. It's just really, really nice. Okay, the ambience is really good. I think I can forgive them for sort of overusing some of the same models. You know, it still works. I'm really impressed by things like this where you've got check-in agents at check-in desks and they're animated with people there. I mean, it's such a realistic scene. Okay, some of the models are a bit weird when you get up close, but you know what, it's going to guarantee a reasonably good frame weight. And this of course is something I know an awful lot about, having spent nearly 38 years in aviation security. Here's your security check, everything really modelled. Again, somebody animated here. And there's a look from the other side after you pass through. The only thing that's missing are the X-ray operators. And nowadays in many airports they have body scanners. But it's just wonderful, isn't it? Really good. Loads of passengers and gates, active people, active sounds. It all works. Okay, most of you pilots will have nothing to do with this and you won't even be bothered by it. I completely get that. But, you know, we're talking about using all the facilities, and here's another thing, look. First time I've seen them, you've got animated conveyors, escalators. I've not seen that in a scenery yet, so for me that's a first. Here you've got a scenery and a developer that utilises all of the features that the new simulator gives us to create something that's pretty realistic. And in terms of ambience and atmosphere, you know, this place has it all. I wonder if the lift works. Probably doesn't. But again, I can forgive them for that. But look, you've got working escalators. You can even hear the sound of it coming up. Oh, this is wonderful, isn't it? It's really, really nice. Again, you've got this lovely little restaurant type atmosphere down here. And the other thing to show you, here's the arrivals hall with the animated baggage reclaim. Again, it's a first. I've not seen this in a scenery yet. It's really impressive. It's just amazing. What a job they've done. So once again, a little overview there of the main central area where the aircraft are parked. It's really nice. So the next thing to show you is this aerotrain. Beautiful animation. Again, it's lit parallax lighting, but it's lit and it works. But you've got everything right down to the fine wires that control it. And you can hear the sound of it working. Okay, so it's parallaxed inside, but you know, the lighting works. There she goes. I mean, everywhere, pretty much everywhere where it's required, you've got ambient sound of vehicles and stuff that just make it come alive. So let's just have a slow look at some of these buildings. Here you can see everywhere you look, you've got high detail, parallaxing, which gives you the effect that something's going on inside. But the parallaxing is done so well that even really up close, it looks real. Look at that. I mean, that's amazing. Okay, a little bit less there. But what about this? Just really wonderful. We have done a really nice job that they've gone out so far into the city here to do some of the things that are unique to this place and do it so well. Building modelling is excellent. And the lighting just really shows it all off. Okay, all of this is a lot less sort of low resolution here. And the vehicles are great, but it just doesn't quite work so well. But it's still, I mean, the buildings and the city, tons and tons of Asobo globes, which you would expect out here because a lot of it is laid on top of Microsoft default. But the attention to detail is wonderful. You've even got the red flashing light there, which is mandatory on most buildings over 300 feet. I mean, the scenery really does look the part. There's a little train again below us. It's really good. And there we go, as the light has come sort of a lot lower, you can see now the lighting effects are really quite good. There's the approach into runway 08 that does have the sequence flashing lights. The other end should have them as well, but unfortunately that's the only thing that's missing. But here, if you look at the ramp area, it looks great. You've got green centerline lights, blue airfield edge lights, lots of subtle lighting. You're not going to have any problem finding your way on and off the runway here during the darkness hours. And talking of the darkness hours, let's drop the light down to night time now and have a look and see how that looks. Okay, 10 PM local time, and as you can see, darkness is upon us. The lighting has come up a bit as well. and it looks really good. Okay, again, plenty of lighting. It's not really going to be a problem here at all. Let's have a look from inside the cockpit. Okay, so there's the view from the captain's side, looking directly ahead. And looking left out of the captain's window. And across to the right side, looking out the first officer's window. So as you can see, no problem at all. It's going to be the sort of view you're going to see when you park up at night time, and it's just very, very nice. So as you can see, the airside area where the planes park there's plenty of lighting. It works really well. I love the effect that the atmosphere created by the way they've done the modelling just really works. You see, you've even got the misted glass here on the Jetway that lowers the light sort of inside the Jetway itself. Some vehicles as well going around with lights on, and you can see the odd passenger moving around inside through the glass. So if you look there, you can see it's just somebody moving around. It's very nice, and there's somebody going along the walkway there. It's very, very impressive. The only thing I noticed a bit earlier here, you've got markings on the centre line that are a bit blurred and not quite as sharp. So there you go, night time. What a beautiful airport, really, really nicely done. Okay, there are a lot of things here that haven't been really tuned up. You could say that the passenger models are a little bit sort of low resolution, and there's quite a bit of low resolution terrain, roads and things around the airport like here. I don't know that I would call them faults. They've probably done it to aid the frame rate because there's so much detail everywhere else. I'm not sure if that's the case. Maybe the developer will come back to me in an email and tell me. But we'll see. You know, computers are getting more powerful now. Graphics cards are getting more powerful. Maybe it's time to think about adding the 3D detail that you've decided not to add, or maybe make it an option. I don't know. But the whole central area here works, both night and day. Looks beautiful in the winter as well. Let's bring it up to dawn. Okay, 7 AM local time, and as you can see, you've got this beautiful sort of reddish glow as the sun comes up. It's very, really nice. And then looking across the airfield, there's the sun coming up. Okay, 8 AM local time, and time to give you my final thoughts. This has to be one of the top airports. There's a lot there are a few things I don't like about it, but it's just me, because you know I want all the eye candy, and that's maybe just the kind of thing I am. And those things are the low resolution roads, but actually at certain times of the day, here we are 8 AM in the morning, and from here this doesn't look bad at all. It works. It all looks pretty good, but when you get a bit closer it looks a bit low resolution when you compared it to the 3D working that's been done here on the airside on the airport itself. So you know, some of the non-3D photoreal areas like this, you've got the low resolution people, and a fair amount of repetition of people as well. Those are the only sort of things that I can say that maybe I don't like so much. I wouldn't call them faults, and I'm not going to criticise them as such, because there may well be a reason why it's been done that way. Because the rest of the airport, 92% of the airport is fantastic. The other 8% where you've got the low-res roads and low-res people, that's the other 8% that probably could be improved. But I don't know if that improvement would really ruin the frame rate. I've found the movement here to be really stutter free. Really hasn't been a problem at all. It's a beautiful airport, wonderfully modelled. I love the sound effects. I don't want to get too many sceneries where the developers utilise sound in the way that this airport has, and those of you that will have the Airsoft Nuremberg scenery, have the same. They have done the same thing there. It's a wonderful way to enhance an airport, and in my opinion, I'd like to see it used a lot more often. Is it worth €25? Well, it's 26, just under €26 with tax. Yes, I think it is. Almost every single building we've looked at is 3D modelled in detail. Parallaxing on the windows of all of the buildings is not just basic, it's really detailed. There are one or two where it's a bit low resolution, but the majority of the buildings are really highly detailed on the outside, and the parallaxing is of the higher resolution for you to see it up close that it works. They've also developed some of the buildings in the city. I mean, I haven't touched on so much of it here because I leave you to explore it yourself. And I don't want to make this review too long. You could spend hours looking at some of the stuff here. But it's an amazing airport, really is amazing. The only thing that's missing, as I said, is the sequence flashing lights from the other end of the runway, the 26 end, which are on the charts but they're not in the scenery. But it's stunning. Go out and get it. It's wonderful. You're on a short trip up to Northern Europe. This is a place to go. So, Lennart Meri, Tallinn International Airport in Estonia, Echo Tango November. This is the payware scenery by Drzewiecki Design, and I probably mispronounced that. You're looking at version 1, the release version for the PC, version of Flight Sim 2020. Downloads at 1.95 gigs and installs at just over 5 gigs. It's available from both SimMarket and Orbix. Not a lot of difference in price really, maybe just a couple of cents. But I'll give you the SimMarket price, €25.20, which equates to roughly $27.39 US, or £22.19 UK. US and UK prices are estimates from the euro and include tax or VAT, which of course may vary slightly depending on the country you're in when you make the purchase. Also note that there are small discounts for previous owners of Tallinn scenery for X-Plane, Prepare 3D or FSX, but the discounts are small. We're talking maybe 10-20 cents or to a couple of euros. They're not massive, but they are there, and if you get them from SimMarket, you'll see. But I think this is another wonderful scenery from a well-known developer whose skills are getting better all the time. An amazing place to fly into. Just one quick disclaimer, I bought this scenery, I wasn't sent it or given it free to review, so the comments and thoughts are all my own, have not been influenced by the developer. In fact, they never are, whether I buy them or whether I get sent them. But yeah, I love the scenery, and next flight's going to be in here. Got to try and must do an adventure video flying in here. So there you go, folks. Thank you for joining me in the review. I've tried to cover quite a lot without going too far. There's loads for you to see here that I haven't touched on. It's a beautiful airport. Okay, it's at the higher level of the price range, but in my opinion, I think it's worth it. So this is Lee, your virtual airline pilot, wrapping up another review. Thank you very much for joining me. Hope you've enjoyed this. If you've been on the fence about this, I hope this has helped you. It is one of those top sceneries, in my opinion. It's worth getting, and it's going to please a lot of people. So thanks for joining me. You guys take care. Have a great week and a weekend coming up, and I will talk to you soon. Take care. Bye bye now.